जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा, कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम, कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय, गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय। जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह, प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतषि श्रीमद् डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन संस्थापक आचार्य विश्व गुरु शील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text number 8. Dharma Artha Uttama Shlokam Tantuhu Tanvan Pitranyade Raksha Kamaha Punya Janan Raksha Kama Punya Janan Ojaha Kamo Marudganan Ojas Kamo Marudganan Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam Tantut Tanvan Pratinyajet Rakshakama Punyajanan Ojas Kamo Marudganan Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam Tantut Tanvan Pitranyajet Raksha Kama Punyajanan
Ojas Kamo Marujjananan
Ojas Kamo Marudganan
Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam
Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam
Tantuh Tanvan Pitranyaje
Tantut Tanvan Pitranyajet
Raksha Kama Punya Janan
Raksha Kama Punyajanan
Ojas Kamo Marudganan
Ojas Kamo Marudganan
Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam
Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam
Tantuh Tanvan Pitranyaje
Tantut Tanvan Pitranyajet
Raksha Kama Punyajana
Raksha Kama Punyajana
Ojas Kamo Marudganan
Ojas Kamo Marudganan Dharma Artaha for spiritual advancement. Uttama Shlokam, the Supreme Lord or persons attached to the Supreme Lord. Tantuhu, for offspring. Tanvan, and for their protection. Pitrin, residents of Pitraloka. Yajet, must worship. Rakshakamaha, one who desires protection. Punyajanan, pious persons. Ojakamaha, one who desires strength should worship. Marudganan, the demigods. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. One should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotee for spiritual advancement in knowledge, and for protection of heredity and advancement of a dynasty, one should worship the various demigods. Please repeat this translation. One should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotee for spiritual advancement in knowledge, and for protection of heredity and advancement of a dynasty, one should worship the various demigods. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The path of religion entails making progress on the path of spiritual advancement, ultimately reviving the eternal relation with Lord Vishnu in his impersonal effulgence, his localized Paramatma feature, and ultimately his personal feature by spiritual advancement in knowledge. Anyone who wants to establish a good dynasty and be happy in the progress of temporary bodily relations should take shelter of the Pitas and the demigods in other pious planets. Such different classes of worshippers of different demigods may ultimately reach the respective planets of those demigods within the universe, but he who reaches the spiritual planets in the Brahma Jyoti achieves the highest perfection. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanajanashalakayat Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In the first verse of this very same chapter, it is stated by Shukadeva Goswami evam etan nigaditam prishtavan yad bhavan mama nrinam yan vriyamananam manushyeshu manishinam. Shukadeva Goswami tells, my dear Parikshit Maharaj, hear from me as to the duty of the intelligent man who is on the threshold, so I have answered you. So Parikshit Maharaj, being the king and the grandson of Arjuna, the son of Abhimanyu, he was cursed to die within 7 days. And because of that curse, as soon as he heard that such a curse is being upon him, immediately Parikshit Maharaj left his kingdom. He left everything. He handed over everything to his son Janamejaya and immediately went to the banks of the Ganges, and he was looking for some spiritual master who could guide him on his further progress in life. And the specific question which Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukadeva Goswami is that, my dear Shukadeva Goswami, I have only 7 days to live. Within 7 days I am cursed to die. So what is my duty? What is the duty of a person who is supposed to 10 days? So in answer to that question, Shukadeva Goswami explained so many things. And in the first verse of this chapter, Shukadeva Goswami says that you inquired from me, what is the duty of a person who is on the threshold of death? And I have answered you. So that is how this chapter 2 of the second canto ends. In the modern civilization, if you go and ask somebody, my dear sir, do you know what is the duty of a man who is about to die? Then people will laugh. They will say, what do you mean, duty of a man who is about to die? There is no such duty, because everybody believes that I am this body, and before death we should maximize our enjoyment of life. So that is the answer we will get. So anybody if you go and ask this question, what is the duty of a man who is about to die? They will say, duty is maximize your enjoyment. Very soon you are going to die. What all you could not do in life, please plan and enjoy to the best of your capacity. So this is the philosophy of the modern civilization. Like many times we see when we go on the streets, behind vehicles and auto rickshaws, there is a caption given, life is like an ice cream, enjoy it before it melts. It's very popular, because in the modern civilization, nobody can conceive that I am not this body, I have had a previous body, I will have a future body. So therefore, the activities of sense gratification in this present life, like eating, sleeping, earning money, these are all governed by laws of papa and punya. This awareness is not there in the modern civilization, nor does the education system train anybody in these subtle laws. So nobody believes. So practically everybody's faith is very strong that I am this body. As soon as the body is finished, everything is finished. There is no Atma, there is no Punya, there is no Papa, and therefore you don't have to worry about dharma, what sort of activities you can perform, what sort of activities you cannot perform. You don't have to worry about dharma. Why should you worry about dharma? If you try to preach about dharma, people will say, you see, so many corrupt politicians are there. No, they have all looted people, they have murdered people, they have done so many miscreant activities. They are all enjoying, they are all so happy. So why are you preaching dharma to me? So people who are following dharma, they don't have anything. Those who are following adharma, they are very happy and very rich. So where is your God? Where is your papa and punya? If actually such a law exists, papa and punya, then something should have happened to this person. Nothing has happened. So people get bewildered. It's very difficult to convince people. Why? Because they see life as from birth to death, this is life. Before and after and all, you don't tell me. Neither I have seen, nor anybody has seen. That is the consciousness of the people, which is nothing but atheism. This atheism is not new. It is there since time immemorial. Even in the former ages, there was a very great atheist. His name was Charvaka. Charvaka was called Nastika Shiromani, king among atheists. So Charvaka also said the same thing. Rinam Kritva Gritam Pirbet. Get some ghee and cook nice food and eat nicely and enjoy life. Yavat jivet sukham jivet. As long as you live, live happily. And somebody may ask, hey, Rinam Kritva, you have taken debt, you have to pay back. No, you have taken money from somebody, you have taken loan, you have to pay back. If you don't pay, there is punya, papa, you have to suffer. So for that, Charaka gave the answer, don't worry about all those things. Who has seen? Basmi bhutasya dehasya. Once the body is burnt to ashes, kuta punaragamano bhahet. Who has seen Atma has come again, Atma has gone again, next birth, all these things. These are all imaginary things. So atheism has always existed since the beginning of this creation, even in the former ages also. But the percentage of atheists were very small, very, very less. They were not dominating the society, they were not dominating the consciousness of the people. Prabhupada says India was always guided by acharyas. The civilization was dominated by instructions of great acharyas, like Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Shankaracharya, all these great acharyas. Their teachings dominated the lives of the common people. There were people like Charvaka also, but their percentage was very less. 1 or 2% were always there. Krishna also mentions in the Gita, there are such Lokayatas and other kinds of philosophers. So atheistic philosophers always exist in the society, but in the modern society, they dominate the total consciousness of the people. So 90% of the people are atheistic, 5-10% people believe in Papa and Punya and all these things. This is the difference between Kali Yuga and other yugas. So in the modern society, if you go and ask somebody, what is the duty of a person who is about to die? Nobody will even care to take this question seriously, because everybody strongly believes that I am this body. After death, everything is finished. There is no need to worry about Papa Karma and Punya Karma. There are no such subtle laws which are governing our lives, because we don't see anybody taking birth again. And this is not just the common masses. Even professors, even highly intelligent and educated people, even people who study Indian culture, even they are bewildered by this. Prabhupada met that famous Professor Kotowski in Russia. He was a professor of Indology. Indology is a subject where Western scholars, they study India, Indian history, Indian culture, and they also study Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all from an academic perspective. They are curious about Indian history. So their subject is called Indology. So Professor Kotowski was a professor of Indology. So Prabhupada went and met him. So during his conversation, Professor Kotowski said, Swamiji, after death, everything is finished. So Prabhupada pointed out, you see, he is a professor. He is supposed to guide everybody in the society. He is a professor of Indology. But he is also saying, after death, everything is finished. So therefore, this is the current consciousness of the people. Nobody believes, nobody has the consciousness or the awareness of the finer laws of nature. That finer consciousness that I am different from this body. In the previous body I had, next future body I will have. All this is governed by my activities, and those activities strictly have to be according to Papa Karma and Punya Karma. These are all not part of the consciousness of the people. Especially the British education system has completely destroyed the faith of the Indians in this fundamental Vedic knowledge. Otherwise, in India, before the Britishers came, every Indian was very, very conscious of this, about Papa Karma and Punya Karma. Prabhupada gives one example. A person, his father passed away. So he went to one shopkeeper and he gave him 1 lakh rupees and said, my father told me before passing away that I owe 1 lakh rupees to you, to this such and such person. Please go and give it. I may pass away any moment. So once the father passed away, the son took 1 lakh rupees and went to that person and said, please take, this is your 1 lakh rupees. My father told me that he owes this money to you and he passed away a few days back. This is your money. And the person, before receiving the money, he said, wait a minute, let me check my books of accounts, whether I actually owe 1 lakh rupees or not to your father. So he went and checked his books of accounts. And he said, I am sorry, I have no such debit or credit. I don't owe 1 lakh rupees to your father. So this money does not belong to me. You please take it back. And the other person is insisting, no, 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 no. My father said, I am supposed to give 1 lakh rupees to you. You have to accept it. If you don't take, that papa karma of not giving back, not returning back that 1 lakh rupees will come upon our whole dynasty. We don't want that. Please accept this money. The other person argued, I am sorry, in my books of accounts, there is no such expenditure, there is no such record of having loaned or given 1 lakh rupees to your father. So if I take money which does not belong to me, then that papa karma will affect our entire dynasty. I do not want this money. So both were fighting with each other. One was saying, you must take money. The other person saying, I cannot take this money. Prabhupada quotes this in one lecture. And Prabhupada says, this was India. And it's not some thousands of years back. This is just 150, 200 years back when the British had not even stepped their foot into India. So you see how deeply in the blood of every Indian this is there. Papa karma, punya karma, atma, paramatma, this is there. So those who have taken birth in India, even now it is there. But unfortunately, because of wrong leadership and foreign invasion and meddling around with the education system, especially among the leaders in India, highly educated, intelligent people, this faith has eroded. Because of that, educated people in India especially no longer believe this as a science. They think these are all primitive ideas. These are all ideas meant to keep the general mass of people under control so that they don't rebel and ask for rights and all, equal rights and all those things. So that kind of one narrative is being set. But the fact is, according to Vedic literatures, we are not this body. There is previous janma, there is next janma, and according to our karma, our activities of punya and papa, we are awarded a next body, and we were awarded a previous body. This is very fundamental to know. So in Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to find people who actually have faith in such a subject matter. Therefore, Sankirtana is very, 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 very important. Only through the Sankirtana movement, through the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and by taking prasadam in the temple, and by coming to the temple and engaging in devotional service, this consciousness is automatically developed in the minds of a person, that I am not this body, I have had a previous body, I will have a future body, and all this is governed by papa and punya, and above all this is the Supreme Lord who is governing all these activities. Naturally, a person starts developing this consciousness if he engages in devotional service in the Sankirtana movement. Therefore, Sankirtana is so important. Therefore, it is said Sankirtana is the Yuga Dharma. There is only way of elevating the consciousness of people in the society is through Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the significance of Sankirtana. So now, we may wonder, if that is the case, then why is Bhagavatam talking about worshipping Lord Vishnu for spiritual advancement in knowledge? For the protection of heredity and advancement of a dynasty, one should worship the various demigods. Because that is the current verse. Why is Bhagavatam talking of this? Because in the first verse of this chapter, Shukadeva Goswami said, you inquired me about the duty of an intelligent man, and I answered you. So in the previous chapter, Shukadeva Goswami has practically given the answer to Parikshit Maharaj, that you engage yourself in pure devotional service, anya abhilashita sunyam, without any personal desire. You simply serve the Supreme Lord Krishna for his satisfaction. And if you do that, then at the time of death you will be able to remember Krishna, and after death you will go back to Krishna. This is what Shukadeva Goswami instructed. Now in this chapter, if you see, after having said all that, certain other things are mentioned in the Bhagavatam. For example, in the previous verse it is mentioned, one who desires to be absorbed in Brahma Jyoti should worship Lord Brahma. One who desires good progeny should worship the Prajapatis. One who desires good fortune should worship Durga Devi. One who desires to become very powerful should worship Agni. One who aspires money should worship the Vasus. One should worship Rudra if he wants to become a great hero. One who wants a large stock of grains, he should worship Aditi. One who desires a worldly kingdom should worship Vishwadeva. And who wants to become Shri Krishna, Rukmini, Satyabhama ki jai, Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. One who desires a worldly kingdom should worship Vishwadeva. One who wants to be popular with the general mass of population should worship Sadhya demigod. One who desires a long span of life should worship the demigods known as Ashwini Kumaras. And a person desiring a strongly built body should worship the earth. One who desires stability in his post should worship the horizon and the earth combined. One who desires to be beautiful should worship the beautiful residents of the Gandharva planet. One who desires a good wife should worship the Apsaras. One who desires domination of others should worship Lord Brahma. One who desires tangible fame should worship the personality of Godhead. And one who desires a good bank balance should worship the demigod Varuna. Bhagavatam is giving instruction even for having a good bank balance. Not only moksha. It's very clear. Prabhupada is writing in the purport. One who desires a good bank balance should worship the demigod Varuna. So somebody may wonder, why is Bhagavatam describing all this? Parikshit Maharaj is sitting on the banks of the Ganges. He is about to die in 7 days. And already Shukadeva Goswami is given the instruction that you should only worship the Supreme Lord Krishna in pure devotional service. Remember him always and chant his name, so that if your consciousness is fully absorbed in the thought of Krishna at the time of death, you will go back to him. And that is the ultimate perfection. If that is a message of the Bhagavatam, why is Bhagavatam giving all these things? Somebody may ask. So the answer is, Bhagavatam, answer to that will come in the next verse, next verse. Because in verse number 10, it says, Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaridihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Akama means somebody has no desire. Suppose you have no desire. Akama, sarvakama, somebody is full of desires. Or he is mokshakama, somebody is desiring moksha. Either case, tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. One should worship only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is very clear. Even if somebody has material desires, he must worship only the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So, then why is it that worship of the different devatas are also mentioned in the Bhagavatam? So the answer is, if somebody worships the devatas for all these different material benefits, he may get that if he follows the rules and regulations of worship of devatas. But his material desires will not go away. His material desires will not go away. His desires will continue to remain. It will only increase more and more and more. But if somebody worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, even with material desires, under the direction of a pure devotee, then the Lord also can give a good bank balance. Varuna also can give a good bank balance. So why go to the Supreme Lord? Why not go to Varuna? Because if some worships the Supreme Lord for a good bank balance, under the direction of a pure devotee, by the blessings of the Lord, in due course of time, he will lose the desire for a good bank balance. That is the difference. Whereas, if somebody sticks to worship of the devatas, then the material desires cannot be removed by the devatas. This is the difference between worshipping the Supreme Lord for material benefits and worshipping the devatas for material benefits. Because Bhagavatam ultimately wants to guide us that everybody should reach a state of consciousness where they have no material desires and they only serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But that may not be immediately possible for everyone. Somebody may have a lot of material desires. So Bhagavatam is not discouraging people who have material desires. So Bhagavatam is encouraging, no problem, even if you have material desires, akama, sarvakamo va, mokshakama, udaridihi, whatever may be, tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. And the advantage is, by the blessings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, in due course of time, a person will lose all his material desires and he can come to the platform of pure devotional service. This is the advantage. But instead of taking to the worship of the Supreme Lord Krishna, if somebody sticks to the worship of the devatas, then person will not lose his material desires. Life after life, life after life, life after life, he will continue his material desires, continue to keep satisfying his material desires. They will never, ever, the intensity of the desires will never come down. And a person who is lost in fulfilling the material desires by worshipping the various devatas, he can never understand the ultimate purpose of life. He is simply bound by papa and punya. He has accumulated punya by worshipping some devata. One particular lifetime, he enjoys a very good life. His talk of punya is over. Kshine punye martyalokam vishanti. He falls down. He'll be roaming around as a nobody in the street. Because his punya is lost. He's finished his punya. Again he has to accumulate punya. And once again he accumulates punya. Again he enjoys life in a very nice way. That is why that famous verse is there from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jiva. Everybody is roaming around in this universe. Upari Adaha. In another place Bhagavatam says, Upari means, Upar means high. Adaha means down. So depending on the quantum of punya in a person's account, one lifetime he is upari. He is in a very wonderful, very high position. Another lifetime when the punya has become almost nil, adaha, he is in a very bad position materially. So it is all play of papa and punya, that's all. So anybody who is materially powerful, that means this particular lifetime, his punya karma has accumulated, it has fructified. Because of the fructification, he is enjoying life in a very nice way. And if the punya is exhausted, then kshine punye martyalokam vishanti. Again he falls down. Materially he is in a very abominable position. So this keeps going on. This cycle of papa and punya, very high position, very low position, high position, low position, high position, low position. And Prabhupada gives that famous example, a Ferris wheel. A giant wheel is there whenever there is some kind of a fair. You sit on the giant wheel, sometimes he is on top, sometimes he is down. Sometimes he is on top, sometimes he is on down. So that is why Bhagavatam, although it mentions the worship of the different devatas, Bhagavatam's final conclusion is akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaridihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. That is the verdict of the Bhagavatam, that everybody should wholeheartedly take to the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Kali Yuga is done particularly through the Sankirtana movement by the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, under the direction of a pure devotee of the Lord. If that is done, then even if somebody has some material desires, the Lord may fulfill those desires, and due course of time, those desires also will vanish, will completely vaporize. Then person becomes qualified, like Parikshit Maharaj, to ask this question, that I am going to die, what is my duty, what I am supposed to do. Otherwise, as long as a person is nurturing material desires in his heart, he cannot ask the question which Parikshit Maharaj asked, that I am going to die in 7 days, what is my duty? Person cannot ask this question. He will think, I have only 7 days, let me fulfill all my desires. It's very difficult for a person to ask this question. Parikshit Maharaj was so detached. He was having practically the entire earth planet was under his control. All kings were coming and paying taxes to him. And it is said he could have even counteracted that curse. Imagine how powerful Parikshit Maharaj was. He was cursed by a Brahmana to 7 days. But Parikshit was also equally powerful. He could have counteracted the curse. He could have continued to live and continue to rule his kingdom. But Parikshit Maharaj chose not to counteract that curse. He took it as a blessing from the Supreme Lord, and immediately he gave up his kingdom. So detached was Parikshit Maharaj. But that may not be possible for everyone. People may have different degrees of desires and attachment. So Bhagavatam is not discouraging people who have material desires. Bhagavatam is encouraging, please come. Somehow or the other you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and get connected to the Supreme Lord, so that by His blessings all our material desires can vaporize. And once they are all vaporized, they are all sublimated, then we can ask the question which Parikshit Maharaj asked, that I am going to die in so much time, some amount of time, what is my prime duty? Then we can receive the instruction of Srimad-Bhagavatam, and we can actually benefit from Srimad-Bhagavatam. So with these few words, we will stop our discourse. Grantaraj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari.